Hi guys, happy Monday. Check out my sweatshirt. Isn't it cute? It's way too big. I got this out when I was in Park City this summer. Ken, back at ya. And I loved it. If you guys have not been to Sundance, it is unbelievably one of the most beautiful places in this country, seriously. Like I came back from that trip and I remember, I think I might have even said on my blog, that for the first time ever, I'm thinking that I would totally relocate either to Park City or Seattle. Both of those places are just beautiful. Chicago, I love and I've always loved it, but then when you come back from some of these places, I'm like looking out going, strip mall, strip mall, strip mall, flatlands, flatlands, strip mall. That's what we got here. And then we have the Sears Tower. So anyway, it has been a long day. As of right now, I have a pounding headache and a full day. I have been going, it's 3:45. I've been going nonstop. I had to go to the dermatologist this morning for my last set of blood work, and I ended up having a really good business discussion with my dermatologist because I'm on my way there and I'm thinking about everything that I'm doing, and I'm like, hey, he doesn't have a social media strategy, he doesn't have a web strategy, what's going on here? Hello! So I go in there and we're talking and I start asking him, is this something that you've thought about? And we end up talking about it, and frankly, it's probably more of a 6-month timeline for him, but he's like, yeah, let's talk, let's keep in touch. Hello! That's how I roll, people. Anyway, so that was good. And then I came home, and you guys, I'm sorry I didn't vlog yesterday, but it has been a crazy weekend. Like I said on Saturday, my mom really has been dying to get me to get these kittens. I used to have cats, and we got these kittens, and all weekend I was not myself. I was so stressed. They're so adorable. And yet there was something in me that was like feeling totally uncomfortable, instead of the way I used to be with animals, where I was like, seriously, everything. My screensavers were cats, everything I had was cats. Every time I get someone a card, it was a cat. It was all about Kelly and her cats. And I haven't had cats because it was obviously a very traumatic separation last time. And I don't know, something was just not right, and I felt so guilty, and I kept calling my mom and calling Miranda and calling everybody going, am I nuts? I mean, do you think I'm wrong? And long story short is, my mom talked to me yesterday and she said, are you, compared to a week ago, before you had the cats, she said, are you more stressed or less stressed? And I'm like, I'm more stressed. And literally, I didn't sleep at all Saturday night because I had the cats on top of me, and they were, awake, understandably, and then last night I didn't sleep well, and I'm trying to do my usual stuff. I'm working all day, and that's what kittens are. They're adorable. I mean, it was cute overload, but they're climbing on my laptop, and I'm having to put things away, and they're getting into this and getting into that, and I'm trying to train them, and I was so stressed out all weekend, just beside myself, like feeling guilty, but then also feeling like I don't think this is a good fit. And so I did take them back to the shelter this morning, and that was hard. And by the way, for anybody that's thinking about this, it is a no-kill shelter. And I called before I took them back, and they said that kittens are, they go like that. I'm not one of those people that would just, get rid of an animal because it's not convenient for me. I don't believe in that. And certainly if it was a kill shelter or anything of that nature, it wouldn't even be a question. I would just deal with it. But I did take them back, and something in my throat. When I took them back, the woman at the front desk was one of those women that I've told you about when they have a job that, I don't know if she's getting paid or whatever, but, her countenance was not very pleasant. When I walked in, I'm like, hi, did I talk to you on the phone? And she's like, no. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And there's me trying to like explain, and I'm crying, and these cats are like, meow. And, she's like, did you fill out a form? Fill out this form. I need to know why you're doing it. And then she's like, I have somebody up here who's returning some cats that they adopted. It was like, she was like Predator, but verbally. Remember the movie Predator? If you haven't seen that movie and you don't know what I'm talking about, just delete that from your memory. So anyway, I did that, and then I came back. I've been on the phone nonstop. I've had to talk to my attorney. I have another phone call with my attorney. Here's my list of 6 or 7 other calls, which is all good. But I am kind of just trying to catch up today. So all that to be said, it's a busy day. For some ungodly reason, I have a pounding headache. I am ready to get to the next phase of life, get things back to normal, get things all in place, get some new work, get some new jobs, get all of this craziness settled down and not feel like this. And I'm so excited to work out this week. I'm so excited. I am probably going to be doing a circuit training this weekend, and then tomorrow I will be in the gym for lifting. And I have to really reread and what I read this weekend, Cynthia, and map that all out. But that's what I'll be doing. And Cynthia and Haley, you guys brought up a good point, and I'm going to just go ahead and ask for everybody's feedback, because as you've seen, a lot of our posts and a lot of us that are going back and forth, we're really trying to get away from this whole psycho diet mentality. We all have our same goals, right? We all want to get there. We all want to get fit. We want to lose fat, whatever. But instead of, like I joke, going on the stone soup diet, or, just being so psycho with what should I eat, how much should I eat, when should I eat, what time, how many, proportions of this, that, or the other, getting away from that mindset. And I personally have been reading that intuitive eating book. And, the whole premise of intuitive eating is not, hey, this is a diet, try this for 90 days and you'll lose X amount of weight. No, it's how to get away from that cycle and be reasonable so that you don't lose your mind, while you're reaching for your goals. And Haley and Cynthia made a good point, which is, if you're talking about intuitive eating, and then, the pictures that I'm putting up on my site, and that we're, when we're talking about going for a figure competition or getting in that level of shape, it's almost to the polar opposite of each other. In other words, to be getting that fit where you see most of the photos that I post on my site, these are girls that are in competition. Men, that's a different story. I don't have many pictures of men that are in competitions necessarily, but all of these pictures are, again, women that are in a competition, have just been in a competition. And I think most of us know that when you're at that, when you look that ripped and that chiseled, you have been on a very serious diet. You are manipulating your body to get that way. And that was a big realization for me, to realize that, you can't just be very strict on your diet and work out and look that way all the time. I admire that type of a physique. I love the way muscles look on men and women. It's just something I admire. And yet at the same time, it's been kind of a bummer for me to realize that if you want to look that way all the time, you're pretty much eating tilapia and asparagus. And nobody wants to live that way all year, and it's not necessarily healthy. That's why I printed that article about the hypothyroidism and such. So when I read that, I thought, well, then what do I do? What do I do with my blog? Because there aren't, well, maybe there are. There aren't necessarily, photos of people in between. You have to search for them. And I've had some people send me pictures of, whoever it is, whatever fitness celebrity, if it is, in their off season. And they're not nearly as chiseled or ripped as they are in season. In fact, they look more like just a normal, healthy, completely fit person. But they're not, completely, every ab is sticking out, what have you. So for me, I've come to an understanding of, I do want to lose the fat that I'm trying to lose. I have a certain degree of muscle tone already. I have an understanding that I can't be that bone chiseled and whatever, but I don't know. You guys have to ask me, or have to answer me. Is it wrong? I have a fitness blog and I want to keep this as a fitness blog even when I change over to a website. Is that sending a bad message? Because seriously, guys, I'm going to be keeping my blog. I'm going to be continuing to do this. I'm going to be having, guests on here, and the theme is going to be fitness and figure, and some of it's going to be about training for a competition. Some of it's just about working out and getting healthy. That being said, is that counter to what I'm talking about? Personally, I kind of put those pictures up just because they're a motivation. It's not necessarily me thinking I need to have my abs sticking out like that, because now I know what it takes to get that particular look, and it's not a regular day-to-day reality. Part 2.